Welcome viewers. Today on TV Box Stop, my package has finally arrived. My long-awaited delivery of the all-new Beelink GT King is here. We have waited in anticipation after seeing it featured on ads, and we have even seen it on other channels. But today I am going to put it to the test in my usual style, to see if it earns the title of really being called a king. So stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back, and I will start with the package. The King comes in this durable black box and it features the popular skull that is the trademark of this box. To the back, you have some specifications. The CPU is the latest hexa-core S922X processor. The display has HDMI 2.1 output with 4K display at 75 Hz. It comes with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage. It has dual-band AC Wi-Fi and Ethernet LAN speed of 1000 megabits per second. The other information here pertaining to ports will be featured in a moment. I will now do a quick unboxing. These are the contents of your package. You have the Beelink GT King itself. You get a wireless voice remote and dongle. You get one HDMI cable, a 5 volts 1.5 amps power adapter, and a user's manual. Let's take a look at its design and its input-output peripherals. The entire body is made of plastic, with the Beelink King skull printed to the top. To the back, you have one HDMI 2.1 port, one USB 2.0 port, one Ethernet LAN port at 1000 megabits per second. You have one optical audio port, one audio-video port, and your DC power input. To the side, you have two USB 3.0 ports, and a microSD card reader. There is nothing on the other side. To the front, you have an LED power light that lights together with the skull at the top. And to the bottom, there are no ventilation holes and a reset button. So I will connect to my capture card and TV, and let's see how the GT King got its name. So I'm all set. And as I start up the box, you have this very dark Beelink logo and King skull glowing eyes animation for a couple of seconds. Then you're taken to a startup wizard. Once you have completed the wizard, you're then taken to the Beelink launcher. So here we are at the launcher. And it's no surprise that Beelink decided to stick with their default launcher. Beelink's launcher is one of the best in the industry, and it comes with all the standard features. You have these large main buttons that cannot be changed, and within this panel you have a weather widget and a one-click cleanup button for killing background apps, and freeing up system resources. To the right, you have a shortcuts bar for adding shortcuts to the launcher by simply clicking on the Add button, and selecting which apps you would like to add or remove. Much to my satisfaction, the launcher comes with a navigation bar and status bar for easy navigation with a mouse or mini touchpad keyboard. If I head over to the settings area under the About tab, here it shows that you are running on Android 9 Pie operating system. Under Droid Settings in the Display Settings, you have the option to set the display resolution up to 4K 2160p. I have already tested the output display on my 4K TV, and the box has HDR output. And if you back out to the audio settings, here you can see your digital audio settings. Later in the review, I will test for Dolby Video and DTS audio in the 4K video segment and on my receiver. In the Apps section, you get a basic set of system apps like App Installer, File Explorer, Chrome Browser, DRM Info, Movie Player, and the Google Play Store. So to put the GT King to the test, I will install some apps of my own and continue with my review. So I'm back, and to start this segment I will check to see if you can use alternative launchers. I installed the Nova Launcher and the ADW Launcher too, and the Nova Launcher still has compatibility issues. The ADW Launcher 2 on the other hand works great, and all the features including drag and drop shortcuts works well. Next, I will check if screen rotation works on this box. I have already tested it and screen rotation works. But first, head over to Display Settings and enable screen rotation. Then using your favorite app enter into portrait mode. I will now check to see if the box is rooted. It shows that the box is rooted, running on Android 9 operating system. This is great news for users as it allows you to install any app without restrictions. However, it affects the box's ability to have the required DRM for premium streaming services to show in HD quality. The warning still remains in effect. Don't try to update the Super User app because it will put your box into a permanent boot loop that a refresh from recovery mode cannot fix. You will have to flash the firmware to restore it. Again, don't say you haven't been warned. I now show its DRM information. The Beelink GT King has Google Widevine Level 1 and no HDCP protection. Having Widevine Level 1 isn't sufficient for Netflix to play in HD quality. It requires HDCP protection. This is an encryption that blocks recording devices from capturing their movies. I now turn to Netflix. Netflix is not available on the Google Play Store, so I installed version 6.26.1 off of the Aptoide App Store and it works. However, it only shows in standard 420p quality indicated by the missing HD symbol in the movie description. I also installed Amazon Prime, and it is available on the Google Play Store. Amazon Prime is also limited. For users outside of the US, lots of movies will not play unless you use a VPN, and the quality is also restricted by the lack of DRM support. Let's look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is AZW, and the model is the GT King. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, which is DDR4 memory, and this is the remainder of the storage from the 64 GB after the Android installation and all the apps I have installed. The Bluetooth version here is 4+, which indicates that the Bluetooth version is 4.1. The CPU is the all-new Amlogic S922X CPU divided into 2 cores. A dual-core ARM Cortex-A53 running at 1.8 GHz, and a quad-core ARM Cortex-A73 running up to 1.7 GHz for a total of 6 cores, on a 64-bit instruction set running in 32-bit mode. The box has support for only 32-bit ABIs, allowing it to run only 32-bit applications. The GPU is also a new GPU, which is the dual-core ARM Mali G52 graphics processor, with a refresh rate of 60 Hz and OpenGL ES 3.2 support, which is great for gaming. Under Network, it shows that the box has dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. Under Android information, it shows that the operating system is Android 9 Pie operating system, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs between 40 to 50 degrees Celsius under an air-conditioned room temperature, and this can rise up to 65 degrees under heavy activity. The box comes with codecs for playing 4K videos like HEVC, H.264 and VP9 decoding, and a couple of others all needed for the playback of 4K media. And that's it for system and hardware information, and let's now see if the King can outperform its predecessors in some benchmarks. First, I have the results of the RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The Beelink GT King has a RAM copy speed of 5,572 MB per second. The internal storage has a read speed of 149 MB per second and a write speed of 85. This score is a good score. Though it's not the highest, we will see how it measures up on the rank chart. Next, I have the results of the Wi-Fi speed test. The results showed that the box was able to hit the maximum speed of my internet package of 60 MB on both Wi-Fi bands and on the LAN port. This is great news for the GT King, as it's usually a big factor when choosing a TV box. Next, I have the results of the Antutu benchmark. The Beelink GT King got a score of 109,109. This score is a very high score, and in just a second we will see how high it ranks on the chart. In the Geekbench 4 CPU benchmark, the box got a score of 1,185 single-core and 3,228 multi-core. The GT King looks very good in this test, and the score reflects the power of the new Amlogic S922X hexacore CPU in this box. The final results is the Ice Storm Extreme and the Sling Shot GPU graphics benchmark. The GT King is too powerful for the Ice Storm Extreme test, so it maxed out on that score. And in the Sling Shot test, it scored 1,437. That's an impressive score, and now let's see how it ranks on my chart. So after punching in the scores, the Beelink GT King is at position number 1, making it the highest scoring TV box for 2019 thus far. It defeats boxes like the Magic CN6 Max and the Cision AISE, along with all the models that carries the Rockchip Arcade 3399 CPU, that has dominated the charts for highest benchmark scores since January 2017. So today on TV Box Stop, I am crowning the Beelink GT King as the new best TV box for 2019, and we will continue to monitor the rankings until someone produces a box out of China that can beat that. Also, this chart is available in full spreadsheet format on my website, where you can fully interact with it and compare scores. So after achieving the top position on my chart, I will now put it to the test and see if its benchmarks are a true reflection of how it actually performs when you apply it to 4K videos, surround sound audio and 3D gaming. I will start with 4K video playback.
Juries, executioners, judges.
Welcome to the inside of your head.
This is the left channel. Next, we have the center channel. Over here is the right channel.
So though it managed to play most of my 4K video samples that contains HDR formats and Dolby DTS videos, including the difficult 4K Jellyfish video at 400 megabits per second bitrate, it still didn't conquer the Cambodia video that is encoded in Dolby audio format. The other DTS videos played okay, but there is another test it must go through to confirm if it has Dolby display and DTS audio pass-through capability. This is the Dolby display and the DTS audio pass-through test.
Executioners, judges.
Well.
So for the surround sound enthusiast, you have Dolby display and DTS audio pass-through once you use a video player that has those features. Something I also forgot to mention during the 4K segment, is that you have HDR display output from the King. For the GT King's final test, I will play some treaty Android games to test the new Mali G52 graphics performance. Also, let's see if we have gamepad keymapping capability.
And in goes the cross. Tries the volley. They scored! And he's gone and won the ball with a very good tackle. He's in the clear. What a chance! And there was the chance to level the score.
Well, the crowd were up on their feet, fully expecting that one to be bulging the net.
It's a tactical substitution for the losing team here.
This is probably the longest I have ever ran a gaming segment on my channel, and there's a good reason why. When I tell you this TV box, the GT King, is the best frigging gaming TV box I have ever played Android games on. I don't usually get worked up about these things, but I actually went in and set every game on the highest graphical display settings, and with the box set to 4K resolution, this box just blew past everyone without a hitch. For those of you who know this game Dead Effect 2, know that there's a display settings to extreme graphics. Well, you are watching the extreme graphics mode. This is just awesome. And to top things off, gamepad keymapping works perfectly, and the box does not overheat. In summary, I would like to give a word of advice to all TV box developers looking to launch a TV box on new hardware. Take a page from Beelink on how you launch a new TV box on new high-end hardware. When I first started the review, I was a bit cautious because I have experienced boxes coming out on new hardware time and time again, trying to impress buyers, and trying to capture market share, only to be a colossal failure doomed to the TV box graveyard. I highly applaud Beelink for raising the bar with this box, delivering not only a solid top-ranking box, but taking into account the needs of the TV box community. I was so excited that I forgot to mention that the stock remote control included in the box is the G10 model that has AirMouse feature and voice commands feature. For those of you wanting to know what are the cons of this box, well, I have two. And that is one of my 4K videos had some playback issues, and the box does not have HDCP protection for Netflix to show in 4K quality. So, after completing the review, I contacted geekbuying.com and thanked them for sending this box over for review, and I also asked them, seeing that the box is so good, to provide an exclusive discount coupon for my subscribers. So if you are interested in buying the King, see the link in the coupon code in the description area directly below this video and on my website. This was a real pleasure doing this review for you guys today, and if you liked this video, give it the thumbs up, and if you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and the little notifications bell, because I have something very special coming up with the S922X CPU in the coming week or two, and you don't want to miss it. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.